What's going on, everybody? We're back with another one, and today's video is going to be another one on the OGMC. As you guys know, I've mentioned it before that every once in a while when the truck gets warm, you can hear I'm almost positive it's on the driver's side. Let me start it up and see if it'll do it. It's got a little lifter tick, but it goes away once the truck gets warm. So, you know, I haven't really been too worried about it. And the last time I changed the oil, I didn't have any kind of metal shavings in the truck. Pop the hood. But yeah, like I was saying, I didn't have any kind of like metal shavings in the truck, like the oil. So, you know, I haven't really been too pressed to do it right away. But I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and pull the valve cover off on the driver's side. Check it and just look on the inside, see what it looks like. Maybe pull the rocker arms off and see how they look. And the push rod, pull the push rod up and see if it's got any like signs of maybe that it's you know, bad as far as the lifter. There might be one that's, you know, got a bad roller on it, who knows. And if that's the case, then we're probably going to do the cam anyways. But yeah, as you can see, that looks so much better with that new reservoir for the coolant. I'm gonna look and see if I can get one for the brake booster, because that'll look so much better, man. When you have a clean motor, like a clean engine bay, like the Ram. Let me pop the hood on the Ram, that way y'all can see this thing. I don't know why people don't modify the Ram trucks. Like, I've not seen but maybe a handful of Ram trucks that are actually like built as far as like motor wise. But there is just so much space. Like on the 5.7 that was in the old OBS. I'm still looking for a motor for it too. Haven't forgot about that thing. I usually spray it off every once in a while too to keep, you know, stuff from growing on it, as far as like mold and things like that. But as you can, well, I don't know, the reservoir for the brake booster on this thing's dirty looking too. It might just be from the brake fluid itself. It might be what causes that. But to look how much room you got in this thing to work. I mean, it's just so much room. But yeah, there's our reservoir for that, nice and clean, which it should be on this. But I was just saying, you know, like it just makes the engine bay look so much better. Where's the reservoir? Oh, there's our coolant reservoir for this, way up here. Can't even see it. Huh, that's a weird spot. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much room, and look how much room you got to work on both sides. I mean, dude, it's crazy, you know, with a bigger engine, and you still got more room to work than a lot of the other stuff. Oh, there's a dirt dauber nest on my engine right there. My phone would focus. Now watch the truck not do it now that I want to show you guys how it sounds, because it's not a big deal to me. Like, you know, if it was something I couldn't fix, I'd be more concerned about it. But being that I've already, you know, dealt with an issue like this before and resolved it, I'm not too concerned about it. But it probably won't do it now that I'm trying to show you guys. Come on, start doing it. But I'm almost positive it's either going to be, what cylinder would that be? It's on the driver's side. It's either the far back one or this one here. It's one of those two. At least that's what it sounds like to me from here when it does it. And like I said, it don't do it all the time. It's just every once in a while when you start it, it'll do it for a second, then it'll stop. It'll probably last 10 minutes, but once the truck, you know, if you get in the truck and start driving, it goes right away. So that's what makes me think that it's a bad roller. I wish I didn't have to pull the whole head off to get to them. That way we could just, you know, swap that out, be done with it. I might look online on AutoZone and see if I could get 4 lifters. The head gasket, go ahead and get that swapped out. But I don't know, because like I said, if you've got a bad lifter, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have to replace the cam. So that's why I've really been holding off, because if I'm gonna do one thing, I'm gonna have to do them both. And I don't want to have the truck down for 2 weeks, waiting on parts to get here and whatnot, and then having time to do it. So that's why I've been holding off on it. And now watch it, it's not gonna do it now that I'm sitting here watching it. That's usually how this stuff goes. Like when we go out, like I do plumbing work, and when I go out to a customer's house, oh yeah, it was doing this, and then I get there and then it's not doing it. So that's probably what it's gonna do here. Give it a couple more minutes and see what it does. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the video, and then once it starts doing it, then I'll pick the video back up. All right, so it started doing it. It definitely sounds like it's gonna be one of these back here. I definitely don't hear it over here. It's 100% on this driver's side. But if any of you guys ever heard lifter tick, this is common, especially on these trucks with this many miles. So yeah, I don't know if I want to do it. I'm gonna look on AutoZone and see if they even have lifters. And go from there. So what I might do is pull the coil packs off the valve cover and see how it's looking on the inside, because I did clean a lot of stuff up, and I feel like when I do decide to put the cam and whatnot in there, I'm gonna clean the whole engine up, because I know it's not an oil pressure thing, because this thing holds like great oil pressure. It sets at 40 like it's supposed to. It's not completely up to temp yet, but once it gets to 40, it's holding about 40 psi, which is great, especially for these year models with this many miles. That's perfect. But another thing I was kind of curious on, because the lifters that I took out of the Chevy, that truck didn't make no clicking noises at all. I'm kind of curious if I could pull these out. I don't even know where they're at, actually. Oh, here they are. If I could use these, like I said, there's nothing wrong with them. And I do have new lifter trays on the inside in the house, because when I bought the ones when I did the Chevy, they sent me 2 of them, 2 packs. So I don't know if it'd be a good idea to, I don't even know why I kept these trays, because I will not be reusing those. Because here's the lifters, and they look fine. The freak was that noise? Nothing wrong with these here, and they still got plenty of oil on them. But I don't know. The push rods, they look fine. Not bent or anything. It could just be a bad push rod, who knows? So that's why I want to take the valve cover off, look on the inside of the engine, and see what I got going on up in there. But yeah, and happy Memorial Day to everybody. Everybody's probably enjoying this 3-day weekend. Like me, I can't be still, so I'm always doing something. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, pull the valve cover off on the driver's side, coil packs, all that good stuff. Get all that out of the way and just take a look on the inside and see if I can notice anything just by looking in from here. Might not be able to, might be able to, who knows. Man, look at that coolant reservoir tank, dude. Thing is shiny. But yeah, once I get the valve cover off and the coil packs out of the way, I will start the video back up. That way you guys can see what I see. Essentially, this is a very simple procedure too. You just unplug your spark plugs. I usually do it from up here because it's a whole lot harder to pull them off the plugs itself. So just pop them off the coil packs. You got one connector for your whole coil pack rail, I guess you would call it. Pull this little clip off, pull this off here. Come on. and then that's freed up. So essentially just pull the coil pack off and everything will come off. You might have, like back here, if I can put the phone where I'm doing something at, for your fuel injectors, you might have to pop a few of those clips loose to get the line out for the fuel injector. I'm only seeing one back there for the back fuel injector, but yeah, that's essentially it. Then you have, what is it, 5 10mm, and then 2 8mm, I want to say. But yeah, let me get this thing popped off, and once I get everything open to where we can see it, I'll pick the video back up. So stay tuned. Alrighty, fellas. All right, just hear me out for a minute, because I know I said I wasn't going to be doing a lot, but couldn't find anything wrong with the passenger side. Don't get me wrong, the passenger side, like the push rods, they're a little bit dirtier than the driver or than the passenger. Driver side, I mean, all the rockers, they felt fine. They wasn't loose or anything. So it's got to be lifters. Here's the passenger side. Everything looks good here, but I got my what do you call it, intake manifold. I got it out of the way, and look at this freaking mess. So we're gonna get this cleaned up before we take the heads off, because if any of you guys know, leaves, oil, caked up mud, ain't no telling what else. There's even a moth that's dead right here. It's not good if it goes down into your motor. So I'm gonna get some towels, put in the intake manifold ports, cover that stuff up so nothing drops down in there, or nothing else drops down in there. I'm sure some stuff has fell in there for me moving stuff around. But yeah, I thought I was just gonna do a quick once over, but here we are. I felt like, if I'm gonna pull it apart once, I might as well do it, one time and one time only. So once we get the heads off, pull the lifters out, we can see how the cam looks. I mean, I can get down there to the crank and turn it over. That way we can see how it looks. And if it's not scarred up, then I'll just do the lifters. While we're here, we might go ahead and do the what you call it, valley cover gasket. Because the oil sending unit, I mean, it's clean. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's the one on the right there, and then the one in the center is going to be your crankshaft positioning sensor. It's got oil on it, but that could just be from when the valve cover gaskets were leaking, because you can see, I mean, it's ran down, and the motor is angled back the way it sets into a truck. It does have a little bit of a lean towards the back. That way all the oil and whatnot doesn't run through the front of the motor, it runs back. But yeah, like I said, I thought it was gonna be something quick and easy. Valve springs, as you can see, this driver's side is way dirtier than the passenger. The passenger is nice and clean, but this side over here has got a lot of, I don't know if that'd be carbon buildup or just oil residue or what, but it's like a copper color, and this over here is more of a shiny looking color. But yeah, we're gonna get this thing the rest of the way pulled apart. We're gonna get the line situated and whatnot. We're gonna have to get this assembly off here on this side, and then I think we won't have to, yeah, on the passenger side we won't have to. We are gonna have to take the exhaust manifold bolts loose again, which that's not too hard to do, being that I've already loosened those up. So that should be pretty straightforward there. But yeah, I thought this was gonna be something nice and simple to do today on this nice, beautiful 1,000-degree day. As you can see, I am freaking leaking sweat. It is super hot today. I got Crocs on and my feet are just slipping and sliding. And yes, I'm not 8 feet tall, so I am on a ladder, unfortunately. But everything's disconnected. I mean, the only tools you're gonna need a pair of pliers to take your clamps loose from the throttle body. You got one here, and then you got this other longer one that I got laid over here. That way coolant doesn't leak everywhere. Your valve cover gaskets with the valve covers, they're going to be 8 mil. There's 4 of those. Then there's 5 10 mil for the coil pack tray, I guess you'd call it. And then that'll take the valve covers and the coil packs off, pop your spark plugs loose. You will need, where's it at? This here, to remove your gas line. You can buy them in a pack. There we go, 3/8, and that'll remove your gas line. This here, so you'll have this little clip here, and it basically clips onto, well, in here first, and then it pops on the back. Oh, I'm glad that didn't fall down in the motor. Let me stop rattling before I do drop something. But yeah, that just clips off, pops it off, whatnot. So basically you'll need a 10 mil, a 8 mil, deep well 10 mil. You use a shallow 8, pair of channel locks. You'll need a 15 mil to get your alternator out the way. And we are gonna have to remove this whole bracket for the alternator and the power steering pump, which they're gonna be 15 mils as well. And then, I mean, the valley cover looks like it's gonna be 13 mil. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that. Then I believe the bolts holding the can't even think of the name of it, head onto the block is gonna be a 15 mil as well. And then the exhaust manifold bolts, they're gonna be 13s. Depending on what kind you got. The ones I got, mine are aftermarket bolts, so they're 13 mil. I think the ones I took off were 1/2 inch, which is almost the same as a 13 mil. But yeah, that's literally all you need to get to this point here. A 10, a 8, 13, a 15, pair of channel locks, a flat head. And that's it. I mean, y'all can see what I got laying around. Not much of nothing. It's, once you pull these motors apart, I mean, it's not that hard. Well, don't let me get to talking too soon, because I might get down into a point where I need something broke loose and it'll be stripped out. Be my luck. But I'm gonna go ahead, pause the video, get this bracket taken out for the power steering pump and the alternator, and get the exhaust manifold bolts broke loose and those out of the way. And I'll probably have to take the spark plugs out. I mean, I could do that once I get the heads out. That's not a big deal. We might just wait on those anyways. And then we'll just have our bolts for the head itself, and that's it. I mean, that's all it is to it. Like I said, make sure you get you some towels and stuff in the intake manifold ports, so you don't drop anything in it, because I'm about to get my little vac and try to shop vac most of this debris up. And then once I get the heads off and everything pulled apart, I'll pick the video back up and show you guys what I found. Because I'm honestly kind of curious, being how good the oil pressure is. I'm not understanding why a valve or lifter would have went out. I know they are rollers, so I mean, one of the rollers could be bad, who knows. But yeah, definitely, if this is your only vehicle, don't start doing this until you have all your parts. I got 2 trucks, well, 3. But I don't drive this one all the time, so I have a backup, because this sometimes, I mean, you can run into issues and it'll take longer than expected, or you know, it might take longer than expected for parts to get here, because sometimes you got to order them online. But yeah, that was just a quick little tip, because I've done that before where I've started on something and been like, oh, I need to go somewhere now, and then look down and my motor's pulled apart. But yeah, like I said, I'll pick the video back up once I get everything pulled apart. So stay tuned. All right, fellas, we got everything pulled apart. Heads are off. There's a passenger. There's the driver. These are the driver's side lifters, and I don't know. I mean, I can tell they definitely have 200,000 miles on them, but I'm not seeing anything as far as like grooves in them. I'm not seeing anything crazy. This was the one at the back on the passenger or the driver, and it looked completely fine. As far as, you know, a little wear on the sleeve of the cylinder itself. This one, I mean, it looks fine too. Clean the roller off. Not seeing anything crazy on that either. And these are in order, so these are the back 2, these are the next 2, all the way and so forth. Not seeing anything crazy. Here's the guides. It could have been the guides. They might not have been setting good in here, and that was causing it to slap up. Once the cam rotated, it pushed the what you call it up. Could be bad trays. I'm not sure. Any of you LS guys that work on these trucks, let me know what you think about that. Would it be if the lifter's not setting in the tray like it's supposed to, and just sliding out, would that cause lifter tick? I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but that could be the only thing that I could think of. You know, it's not setting properly in there, and it's, I don't know, it seems like it's setting in there pretty good. I don't know, man. I have no idea on that one. Any of you LS guys, like I said, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think as far as the lifters, because I mean, none of them look terribly bad, like the rollers on them don't. My phone would focus. Let me go grab one of the lifters I had in here out of the old Chevy. Well, the cat eye, that should say. I mean, it's got a little jingle to it when you roll it. But these, I mean, these are in better shape than those for sure. Well, not really. 195, what does this one say? This one don't have a number on it. But I mean, these are the ones that were in the cat eye, and that truck didn't tick or knock or anything. I don't know. We got it apart now, so I guess we'll get to looking online for some lifters. I already got the trays on the inside. Drop a comment, let me know, do y'all want me to cam it, or do you want me to just throw a stock cam back in it? If we cam it, it might take a little bit longer just because of the tune. That dude's usually slam packed. But yeah, this is probably gonna be the end of this video. Everything's apart. If we do cam it, I am going to have to pull the water pump off, the rest of this bracket, and that'll be it. And then, you know, just throwing it all back together. But I am going to clean it up once I get everything apart and decide exactly what I'm going to do. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. If you guys have any questions, how anything come off, or what you need to get anything off, just drop a comment, let me know. I know I already got a video out like this on the cat eye, but when you get one of these trucks with this many miles, you're almost gonna have to change the lifter, just considering the age of the truck and then the amount of miles. And if you get one with low mileage, you might not have to, but unfortunately we wasn't blessed with that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, and like I said, drop a comment, let me know, do y'all want me to cam it, or do y'all want me to leave it stock, and just throw a stock cam back in it, LS7 lifters and stock springs. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed, like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.